she's pissed. Don't even give them the opportunity to bullshit. He's PP wanting his life away.
I know.
Because he's like, these two idiots just fucked me.
What?
Because they have to open their mouths.
That's what I saw. They just like, they said they were like 100% mental too or whatever.
And then they were gonna backstab us.
Yeah.
Like we're stupid that we're believing them, we're gonna backstab them.
And then she was saying like, they both ended up getting vetoes. And then she was like pointing, and then, did you see that part?
Yeah.
And then she was like, and
we wanted one of them to go home and they fucking came off.
Yeah. They're pretty much talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
So were they not gonna send home Marley?
That's what I'm thinking now.
I know. I don't know. Doesn't make sense, but maybe they were just pissed that they had to put someone else up and both of us came off. Maybe they were saying they don't like us, both of us came off.
Unless their plan is to keep Arlie and send home Adele?
I don't think so.
That doesn't make sense.
I'm like, they were like working with them. Arlie's working.
Oh my God.
At Final Four with them.
I think that the realest Final Four they made was the two of them, Heather and Adele.
Agreed.
And if Adele leaves, the three of them stay together. And Neda and Heather will go final two, so get rid of John. I stand by that. I think that's true.
Okay, so you don't
Why
think
is he
that's
so pissed right now?
because he thinks we read everything and you don't say a
not.
word, say what you said.
Yeah.
Even though what you read was
Yeah.
enough. And Heather wouldn't have one up to Neda and say,
Heather
Neda,
pissed.
yeah.
When you were back on to me, or when you were facing me and you were back on to her, I was stood there, she was like glaring at me almost.
Yeah. Super pissed. And she didn't even answer my question. And John is PP wanting it because he thinks they fucked him over because he thinks that she knows everything.
But do you think there's something more to it?
Like, wait, hold on. And Heather told Neda, by the way, there was no follow-up. So if they weren't saying anything bad,
No, they were
wouldn't have had to
definitely
say
saying
that.
shit.
And she...
Because at one point they were like, oh, shh.
They went, oh, shit, they're right up here, they can hear. And John knows 100%.
You don't think that they want Arlie to stay with you?
If they do, I'm fucking dumbfounded.
Yeah,
Me too. Because
I'm not really making the move I thought I was.
No, because we have the numbers. Why would they all be trying to convince us to take Arlie if they wanted Arlie to stay? That would make no sense.
Because maybe they think that we wouldn't. And it just looks better this way.
No, because that would never have been their plan because they never thought that you were coming off.
Unless you told them.
No.
Right.
I couldn't.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so that doesn't make sense.
I think you read my lips wrong, girl. Huh? Yeah, I think you read my lips wrong because I never said anything about being pissed that you guys came off the block.
And backstabbing people.
No, the one thing about backstabbing was we were making fun of the top chefs because they did the thing, and we were saying you guys would be like evil geniuses like Arlie on this show. You guys would be like doing like backstabbing and stuff. That's what we were talking about.
Okay, well, what I saw was that you were definitely talking about to have the 2 vetoes and taking us off the block.
We were talking about twists, vetoes. Yes.
Okay. Well, my brother's deaf, so I read lips.
Okay.
So I pretty much read everything that was said, and that's what I caught from it.
Okay,
so.
well, that's not what I said at all. So I think it's kind of like mean that you would say that in front of a room full of people, and that's not what I said.
I was just
think
saying what I saw.
Yeah, that's fine.
I never said you
think.
said that. I said that's what I saw.
Okay, so what exactly do you think you saw? Because the only thing we were talking about backstabbing stuff, we were telling them who Arlie was, because we were like, oh, you guys would be like evil geniuses on the show if you like ever came on, and we explained to them like who Arlie was and what he had done throughout this whole game and stuff, and then we were saying, I don't even fucking remember. It was nothing. I know we said.
Why
stuff
did you
about
guys look so
Twist.
worried when we heard you said that?
And Heather
We
called you
heard.
and said,
Don't worry, the volume wasn't
there
on.
was no volume.
Oh, because still we were talking about Arlie.
So why is Heather super pissed and not talking to
John's
us or
pissed,
answering
yeah.
any questions, and John's super pissed?
I don't know.
It's just like her brother's deaf, and she's
That's
been-
fine, but that's not what I said. Like, they can replay whatever, whenever, like you said, we'll see. But that's not what I said. Or I wouldn't be here, like, saying this right now. It doesn't make any sense to me when I'm the one who didn't want you guys to go home. We were talking about twists. I'm, like, trying to remember what else. I think the only backstabbing thing we were talking about is one Arlie, probably.
Did you say something about Final Two, you and Heather?
No.
Okay.
What are you talking about, Final Two?
I was just asking. Just asking.
No, the majority of the thing was us sitting there talking about how good the food is and stuff.
Yeah,
and then
God,
us talking-
wow, it's amazing. You were,
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw all that too.
Okay, so, like, what else?
I just don't get why you guys would be so concerned about the volume and stuff. And
Because
John's
we're talking
freaking
about
out.
Arlie. I can say that very blatantly.
Yeah, but you guys.
Well, he's leaving.
Yeah,
What
I
does it
think that
matter?
doesn't make any sense.
Because we were talking about Arlie, it's still rude to like be saying stuff like, "Oh, he was the evil genius. He backstabbed his alliance." Blah blah blah.
Well, we told him to his
He
face
loves
that.
it.
Yeah,
Well,
he loves it.
Still, it's not a worrying thing, but still, you still sit there, and you're like, okay, like, did I say anything bad? Or like, I said something about Andrew's cooking, and I didn't like that, so I'm like, oh fuck, would Sabrina be pissed at that? Or I also said something.
And you
about-
told him not to tell the house guests what you guys said.
Huh?
You said don't tell the house guests what we said about them or something.
What you said about who?
No. What was that? Don't.
No,
Tell
you're
them.
just like, they might be watching. Don't tell them what we said.
We told the chefs that. I think maybe about Arlie. We were talking about Arlie. They were like, "Who was that guy who we were talking about again?" Arlie. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's like loud up there. You can like hear." I don't know what else I said. I think I said like, "Oh, Sabrina would be like really jealous right now because she loves you guys," and we're saying how Sabrina and Adele cook. And she's like, "Oh, we should go do John and and Sarah's hashtag, like, oh, hashtag day 48.
Okay, I just don't understand then the reactions of other people then.
I don't get the reactions of other people either, then.
Because as soon as I said that, like I could read lips, hadn't even said like what you were saying.
Yeah.
I said like
She
they were,
didn't
like,
even.
I hadn't even said anything you were saying.
At that
John
point.
flipped. John was like getting pissed.
Basically, as if like
If you
he's
wanted
staring
to
He
Well,
at
probably
John.
thought that I was saying stuff when I
No, I
wasn't.
think he thought that he was. You got like things would get screwed up.
No.
He still seems pissed though, doesn't he?
Yeah, and Heather was glaring,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
She was
think-
freaking out.
Well, yeah,
And
because
she
we were
was
talking about earlier. I just told you guys.
super.
But why
yeah,
would you
but why
care
would
if
you
you
guys
talk
care?
about
Let's
Arlie?
talk about him in front of his face. It doesn't make a deal.
Still, would you not care if you were down there and you were saying it and you thought
But
that?
Arlie, no, if the person
I know,
knows
and
he's going
it's-
home and you do it in front of his face.
Exactly.
Okay, well...
And it's done all the
I-
time in this house to everyone about everyone. So like,
Still, I wouldn't be down here this blatantly saying I didn't do it and being this upset about it if I had said something along those lines. I think maybe
It's
some
just
things
hard.
were maybe said along those lines and it was misconstrued.
Okay, anyways, I'm not gonna sit here and say what I saw was wrong because it could have been wrong.
Yeah.
But I think
I'm sure we
saw
talked about the two
correctly.
vetoes. I'm not going to deny that. I'm sure we talked about that. Of course, we're going to talk about that. It was a big thing this week.
it's okay, Rochelle.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm sure something along those lines was said, and then she read that, but I don't think it was what is being...
Since she was a child, though, she's been learning.
Yeah, that's
You know
fine.
what I mean? So I know, that, like, I believe her, obviously, because she can.
Why would I
be
say
left-
I was pissed that you guys would come off the block?
Because I think
We were talking about
you wanted
Twist.
at least one of us still up there, and honestly, I don't know, I'm believing her because she's, you know, like if she's been taking these learning this all her life. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure she probably read something about me saying the 2 vetoes and stuff like that.
I don't understand then why Heather was so...
Because, I don't know, probably because of, like, we were talking about Andrew. So, you came out there and you were just like, we heard everything, so she...
I didn't mean to say heard, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
it's because, like, we heard everything
Yeah.
because, you know,
Yeah.
she could read the lips. And
We don't talk about Andrew. We were talking to the chefs the whole time.
yeah, and then you guys were talking each
Yeah.
other. I don't know. She said she read that. She read that.
Okay, well, that's fine, but I would not be here saying very clearly that that's not...
Nez, without trying to sound like a bitch, promise on my life, and not trying to throw it in your face because I actually appreciate the honesty. But you guys also done it 1,000 million times to our faces that you guys didn't throw out the condiments, and you did.
I said that when Sarah and Kenny were here.
Rochelle
and I told
specifically
you.
asked 2 days ago, and you guys still denied it. And
Was
everybody
I there?
doesn't matter. Everyone
Okay,
else was
well,
there. I don't
that's
remember
difference.
if you were there. That's why.
Okay, then that's the difference.
No, but I don't remember if you were there. It's possible you were. I don't remember.
Okay.
I just know that there was obviously humans in the room. Okay.
Yeah.
And everyone still denied it. So it's very clear that you guys are able to lie to our faces.
Okay.
So it's just very difficult in that sense because all I've been trying to do is gain you guys' trust when I realize why do I have to do that when they're so easy to...
Okay, at what point did you not realize we like trusted you, like all 3 of you, when didn't want you to go home this week? Didn't want you to go home this week?
I think you didn't want us to go home this week because it's better for your game to get rid of bigger targets. I think that you don't care if we're here or not. And I think that the most important allegiance you have in this house is to Heather and John. And
To John, yes.
Yes, 100% to John, but as well, Heather as well. And I feel like we're just right now people that you guys think you can win against, and that's why it's better to keep us here, which is strategic and understandable. But at the same time, I'm not stupid. And I don't believe that Heather is nothing to you because just like you said, you didn't understand how I would backstab my best friend. That, and you were so like, you know, like persistent on that.
As a friend to me in this game, yes, I agree, but it's also a game.
Okay, so let me finish. So if you were so persistent on, you couldn't believe what a horrible thing I would have done to backstab my best friend and vote her out if you're about to do it to Heather.
I'm not saying right now that's the situation.
But next week, right?
If it comes down to it, I'm going to go with what's best. And if I make promises, I'm going to stick to those.
I'm sure you made her a promise, though, that you would never vote her out. No?
We can sit and talk about this later.
Okay, fine. I understand that. That's why I wasn't sure if I should continue
Yeah.
speaking. And you see, I'm being
Okay.
honest. And this is not me being snappy, because I don't like when people are like that with me. It really takes me a lot of trouble to bite my tongue.
Yeah.
I'm just, you know how I am. I'm expressive. Like,
I'm
you know
just
what I mean?
annoyed because those were not exactly, I think
You have
maybe some things were read that we said and then it was jumped to that conclusion, but it was not a thing where I was like, can't believe both of them are off. I'm so
No, it wasn't
pissed off
exact.
right
It wasn't at all in
Okay,
that
so
phase.
then-
We could read your facial expressions
Yeah.
as well. But please understand, we are in a game of extreme paranoia, and at
Okay.
the same time, where it's easy to jump to conclusions. And
Exactly,
but
let's-
hold on. At the same time, sorry, please. At the same time, considering everything, it's easier to believe that, and it's coming from her, and I
Yeah.
believe everything she says.
Oh, I'm not saying that she's lying in any sense whatsoever. I think she thinks that she actually did read those things off my lips.
And you're saying you didn't.
And I'm saying that I probably said something along those lines. I'd be like, oh, I can't believe there was 2 vetoes this week or something along those lines. I can't remember. But it was never at a point where I was like, oh, I'm so pissed that they're both off. I can't believe they're both off of there.
And what was the backstabbing thing then?
Arlie, I think. That's the only thing I can think of is 1, Arlie, or 2, when we were talking to the chefs or talking about them being like, oh, they would be like evil geniuses on the show.
Okay.
Was when they were first started being like, oh, we're gonna like put this stuff on just so they can smell it upstairs, blah blah blah, and that's when we're like, oh my god, you guys would be so good at this show. You'd be just like Arlie, like.
Oh, because when they were doing the aromatherapy
Yes.
there. By the way, just a side note, they use the garlic, rosemary, and thyme.
I honestly have no idea.
Okay.
Like, I'm just gonna put whatever smells good. I'm like, okay, cool.
Sorry, I want to know that. I'm such a loser.
And we told them about you too. I don't know if you read those lists, being like, "Oh my God, Sabrina's like such a big like."
I know you
fan
said
of
my
guys."
name.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what, and that's why you see I didn't even bring it up
Yeah.
because I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna invent
Yeah.
something. I know you said my name, but I
then
don't
there-
know the rest.
yeah.
What was the rest?
I'm pretty sure it was just being like, oh, Sabrina is really good. And we were talking about you and Adele, like, cooking and how Andrew used to cook, but now you guys are the two cooks in the house and how you, like, top chef.
Yeah.
Like, and we're like, oh my gosh, she's probably so jealous that she can't, like, come down and, like, meet you guys.
Okay. So
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure, like, we said people's names, and, like, I don't want that to be like, oh my god, that looks like, or that's your name. She's
no,
probably, like,
it was
saying
literally
this.
like she read full sentences.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna pretend, you know. And
Okay, so what else exactly was it that?
I rather like if she was here because I don't want to talk for her, and
Yeah.
I'm never gonna go against her.
Yeah.
So if you want to have this conversation later, I understand, and it's not a problem.
Yeah.
You just let me know when, and if Rochelle would like to.
Alright, that's fine. Yeah, just when she comes, just I guess come take me to her room. Or
Okay,
something.
it's just like again, it wouldn't have been as bad if Heather was not.
Oh, she was probably
terrified.
like terrified about the Arlie thing and probably
I don't
talking
understand
about.
why she would be terrified about Arlie
Because
though.
it's
Because you guys
still-
openly talk bad about him to his face. Well, not bad, but like say
It's
like,
not bad.
oh, you're an evil
I know, but
genius.
still, you know what I mean. And still probably like Andrew too. We're like, oh, we don't like his cooking. Like,
Do you guys like my cooking?
I like your cooking. Yeah, you already know I like your cooking, and you already know why I didn't like Andrew's cooking. So
NP.
because of what?
NP.
Nose picking?
Yeah.
Yeah, nose picking and like onions. I already said this to him. I already said this to you.
No, I know. That was
But
just
still.
like, the light of the situation.
Yeah.
You had to see Aika.
I'm sorry.
That's actually a person I'm looking forward to seeing. And be like, yes, hate me, it's fine, but you're hilarious. She used to be like, it's so funny.
Yeah, and that's like stuff I've already said, but I don't know if that's something she cares
fine.
about or something.
That's
so.
fine. But yeah, it's just like like I said, it's Rochelle read it.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that she's saying something wrong. Like she's like saying something that's she doesn't believe to be true. But she could have read like, oh, like I can't believe that both vetoes were used this week, which is a shocking thing. Of course, you're going to talk about that when you're sitting down. And then like I don't know, something else was said, and then those two were like put together. Or some I don't know.
You know, it's just like if she's convinced, you guys really don't realize the difference. Like between like I let go of things. Not everyone's the same way.
Yeah. It's not like a letting go thing. It's more of like an understanding.
Yeah, but
that
if she's
those
convinced of what
things weren't
she's
said.
read, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to unconvince someone when when they've done something all their life.
Yeah.
It's like telling me how to speak Spanish or Italian or how to do certain things.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to convince me. In this game, I've been wrong 1,000 times, that's fine. But certain things I know 100%, you know?
I don't
she
know.
knows 100%. I don't think anyone's going to tell her she's wrong.
Okay, well, I'm not saying she.
Well, when she gets
doesn't
out,
think
we
that
can
she read
talk.
those
It's no
things.
problem.
Yeah, that's
if
fine.
If you want to.
Yeah, no, I do. I actually do because I do want to see like what she thinks that she read
I
or
would
she
look at
does
her
read.
and say,
Yeah,
Okay,
whatever.
no problem.
Yeah, just I'll be in HOH. So when I was.
Oh, you want us to go there?
Oh, well, like it doesn't matter. I'll come down or something.
Okay. I really need water though. That fucking caramel sauce with the ice cream made it so empalada. Empalada.
What's that?
Like, you know what I mean?